Okay, would you believe me if I tell you that just by listening to this presentation, you will guarantee your business successfulness? If you do not, just stay and you will see. Okay, so let's start with background information so you can know what is behind all of this. 80% of Colombia's economic force is moved by little and medium enterprises, providing lots of work for citizens and a lot of economic power for Colombian society. Studies demonstrate that not knowing the performance of your business is frequently responsible of economic failure. So if you don't know how your business is going, what are the incomes, what are the outcomes, how many workers do you have, what are their salary, like all that details that are insignificant apparently, but they are not. If you don't know how they are, it is probably that your business is going to fail. Another thing that is shown is that 29.7% of new business in Colombia develop in a successful way. This led us another 70% that when they start their business, their path to success, they fail. So this is something that we have to be concerned about and worry about because as already mentioned, 80% of Colombia's economic force is moved by this business. The objectives of the investigation. Develop a full investigation showing correct and wrong decisions big business have made in the past so that we know them as we know them today. Compare the processes of different business to identify certain things that made them successful or failures. For example, comparing McDonald's with a little enterprise or McDonald's with something that already failed that people know. So we want to compare the process so we can see what things they made correctly or they made wrong in their decisions they took. Organize meeting with different advanced leaders of Quindío in enterprises or in business. This is really important because with this we can show the audience some information, some real information that is going to affect not only me but everyone in Quindío. So people will receive this information as something that is more realistic because they can see it because it's not far away as another example that I could give to you. It's something that they have near. Hypothesis. If both the steps that successful business have followed as well as the controversies that they have overcome are examined, then precise conclusion can be made on how to obtain a successful business administration. So to resume, if I show you the steps that big business have made and also the adversities or controversies that they have overcome because they let them in the past, then I can give you a precise conclusion that will let you have a successful business administration just by listing these steps and following them in the time that you want to create your own enterprise. Okay, so the research. This is really important because in the research I have a lot of information. For example, the meetings that I made with the important people in or chiefs of business here in Quindío, they told me that something that was really important is to make hard work on your business and to don't desperate when the time of the incoming comes. So you don't need to accelerate on the process that your business is having. So continuing, I have three main theories that are really important to a project and that can be said that are the most important ones. The first one is canine appetite, that is also less opportunities. This is a theory exposed by Joseph Robert. With this theory, he says that big business always tend or always are trying to eat a small business. We can say about this that, in other words, As big business have more incomes because they have goodwill, because they are known by people, because everyone buy to them, they are more likely to overcome adversities or problems they have because they have the way to solve it and to improve their quality with the money that they gain. In the other hand, we have the little business that are just going up, that are not known in the community, so they don't have the economic power to sustain themselves or to overcome an adversity. So this is the first theory. The second one, debts and wrong investment is equal to failure. This theory is exposed by Freddy Romero. Debts and wrong investment are, for example, a debt is a passive. So when you accumulate a lot of passives, you get debts. And he says that if you accumulate passives and you don't have enough actives that are the incomes or money that is entering into your business, then you are going to go bankrupt and your business is going to fail, obviously. So he says that incomes or actives are the ones that are in charge of the development of your business. So you cannot let that passives or debts concentrate too much so that your passives, so that your actives or incomes cannot overcome that debts. Okay, so the last and the third theory is leadership that is equal to success. As I already told you in the investigation made and the conferences that I have with important people here in Quindío, they said that leadership is something that is really important in a business. Also, says it the expert Angelica Higuera. She says that if you are hardworking, if you are always trying to do your best, trying to buy new things, to invest again on yourself or in the business, then it is really probably that you and your business tend to success. Okay, so the diagnostic. These are some questions that I made to students of the GI school and to know, to ask them what they know about it, what they see, what they think, and all of that. So the first question of the inquest was, what do you think are the reasons that make enterprises fail or business fail? The options were poor administration, missing owners' presence, individualities between workers, and low demand on the product. We can say that all of these are correct because they are. All of these will give you or will send you to poor administration or to fail your business. But we can see that 55.6% said that poor administration is the one that is responsible of making your business fail, and they are correct because the most important part of the business is how you administrate the incomes, the people working up there, the investments, because you can have a good product, but if you don't know how to show it to the community, then it's like having nothing. The fourth question, do you think there is a pre-established path for enterprises? Yes or no? 70% said yes, and the other 30% said that no. This is relevant because we can see that more than half of the people that answered this question know that there is a path. But why, if so many people know that there is a path, why they don't follow it? Why at the point when they have to build their own business, why they don't do it? And that is why we have so much failure in Colombia in the business part. So this reveals that many people know that there is a path, but they don't follow it. Question number 10. How much time do you think is needed to position a completely business? This is probably the most important or one of the most important questions. The options were 10 years, 5 years, and 1 year. We can see that many people that answer the question think that in 1 year they are going to have their business economically established and with no problems. Only one of them, 1%, 10%, sorry, know that 10 years are the ones that are needed. In the interviews that I made with some chiefs or boss of the business here in Quindío, they said that the first to four, even 5 years that your business is new, you are going to have losses because people don't know you, they don't have the confidence on you, they don't know the quality of the product. So the first 4 years, you are going to have a lot of problems with the incomes, with the actives, investment, and everything of that. So we can see this may be an explanation of why a business here in Colombia failed because people expect some results really, really fast that they are not going to have just because that is the way it happens, not because they have a wrong business idea. Okay, my field diary. To prove these theories, I made I compared two restaurants. One is called Bianco and the other is called Almuerzos de la Mona, trying to confirm the theory of Joseph Robert that is canine appetite, the one that I told you of big business eating a small business. So first I want to talk about Bianco. The experience in general was complete, was good. You even without tasting the food, you already love it because the attention that they gave you, the place that is located, like everything around the person that is going to Bianco is like engaging. So you like Bianco even though that is more expensive than Almuerzos de la Mona. In the other side, we have Almuerzos de la Mona. In that place, they didn't even have a menu for you to select your food. It was just like the day that you go, that was the lunch you have. It was ubicated in a gallery. You can see in there street dogs. The hygiene that they use is not the best. So even though that the quality was not bad, it was common, and that what you need to pay is lower, you don't like to go there just because of the experience. So we can prove this theory because people prefer to go to Bianco, a business that is known, that has a goodwill, and that people know the quality, paying a little bit more, but knowing that what they are going to have is good and with high quality. The second part of my field diary, watching the documental American Factory in order to analyze the way the factory was managed in that time, confirming Freddy Romero's theory, the one that I already told you of high passives and low actives are the ones that make you go bankrupt or fail your business. In the documental, we could see that they had some cultural differences because half of the people were Asian and half of the people were American. So the greatest inversor made an inversion on the factory of some decoration, electricity, and they didn't like it. They half liked it, the other half didn't like it. So it was a controversy that made that the factory get into a big debt, and they also went into bankrupt. But then the greatest inversion of the factory make a really good inversion, upgrading the actives they had in that time. The inversion was that he put up $2 the salary of everyone at the factory. It may see something that is useless, but it made the enterprise win a lot of money, more than they were expecting. So we can confirm this theory because a wrong inversion or a high debt almost make them go bankrupt, but a good inversion and a concentration of actives make the business grow. So the last part of the field diary was watching the movie The Founder. This movie talks about the way that McDonald's, the business that we know today, was founded, the process that it had to make and to develop and everything. We try to confirm in this movie the theory of Angelica Higuera, that is the one of leadership. During the movie, Ray Kroc, that is McDonald's founder, shows every aspect of a person that is trying to do the best for the business. He's hardworking. He prefers not to sleep so that the business grows. He contacts everyone. He's always looking for chances for the business. So he actually made that McDonald's is something uh, so big as we know today, because like the idea of McDonald's was something that was retired in a small a tiny little business in a part of United States, but he saw with his vision of a good leader that it was an exceptional idea, and he developed it with hard work and with enthusiasm. So we can approve Angelica Siguera's theory. Okay, so our end results. The investigation has serious impact on every society, such as providing economic knowledge for further investigations that are made based on these investigations, and people who want to learn more about economic or this type of information. Also, make our people starting new business some steps they have to follow in order to avoid failure. That is a big percentage of people that starts making their own business. Also show some unknown theories, the three theories that I told you that are not so common, that you may not have known before, but are really helpful nowadays. Reflections. One thing that may be changed for future investigation is to create this same experiment, the same investigation, but with more than one developer or partner. Because even though that every conclusion that I made was made objectively, I only had one point of view with the research that I found, with the theories, with the information. So maybe if you discuss that with your partner, with the other person that is helping you, you can get to some conclusions that are even more realistic or acceptable to the community. A suggestion also is to analyze the data for or the information given for more than 2 years, because as we can see today that we are living a pandemic problem, economic is going to be restructured in every aspect. So if you analyze the information for more than 2 years or more than 1 year, you are going to get conclusions that may last longer. But if you do it in this amount of time that we had, that was 1 year, the conclusions are true, but they may change over time. And the last one is being able to develop fully the field diary without pandemic problems, because like really the quarantine didn't let me complete the amount of work that I was expecting for the project. So this was like a really big problem at the time of making my field diary. Conclusion. Supported on the three main theories investigated during the project, the conclusions are: yes, there is a path established that reduces the chances of failure of your business. So if you follow that path, you are going to reduce almost to zero the percent of chances that you have to fail. The path may change depending on the politics of the country where the business is located. Because here in Colombia, we have some economic politics, but on the US, on Australia, on Europe, on Asia, you can have other economic politics that may change this theory or these conclusions. Another conclusion is providing this information is going to improve Colombia's economic situation, more successful business. Because as I showed you at the beginning of the presentation, a economics force here in Colombia is moved 80% by business. So if we have more a successful business, what is going to happen to economics here in Colombia is that it is going to grow. So Colombia is going to be a better country, a more powerful country, talking about economics. And the last one is the most important aspects of a business are intelligent inversions of the in the business, so improving every time, powerful leadership, so you can make your business something big, and the reputation or the goodwill that you have of your business. All of these summed up make that your business is mostly successful. This is the bibliography if you want to know more about these theories or where I got the information. This is more. And thank you very much by listening. And remember, when you are successful, it's because you heard it here. Thank you.